Annie Besant.
Born Annie Wood, her middle-class childhood was marked by economic struggle. Her father died when she was 5, and her mother couldn't make ends meet. Friends paid for the education of Annie's brother. Annie was educated at a home school run by a friend of her mother's. At 19, Annie married the young Rev. Frank Besant, and within 4 years they had a daughter and a son. Annie's views began to change. She tells in her autobiography that in her role as minister's wife, she tried to help her husband's parishioners who were in need. But she came to believe that to alleviate poverty and suffering, deeper social changes were needed beyond immediate service. Her religious views began to change too. When she refused to attend communion, her husband ordered her out of their home. They were legally separated, with Frank retaining custody of their son. Annie and her daughter went to London, where Annie soon broke away completely from Christianity, became a freethinker, an atheist, and in 1874 joined the secular society. Soon Annie Besant was working for the radical paper, National Reformer, whose editor Charles Bradlaugh was also a leader in the secular, non-religious movement in England. Together, Bradlaugh and Besant wrote a book advocating birth control, which got them a 6-month prison term for obscene libel. The sentence was overturned on appeal, and Besant wrote another book advocating birth control, The Laws of Population. Publicity denouncing this book led Besant's husband to seek and gain custody of their daughter. During the 1880s, Annie Besant continued her activism. She spoke and wrote against unhealthy industrial conditions and low wages for young factory women. In 1888, leading the match girls' strike, she worked as an elected member of the London School Board for free meals for poor children. She was in demand as a speaker for women's rights and continued to work for legalization and more available information on birth control. She earned a science degree from London University, and she continued to speak and write defending free thought and atheism and criticizing Christianity. One pamphlet she wrote in 1887 with Charles Bradlaugh, Why I Do Not Believe in God, reprinted on the web as Part 1 and Part 2, was widely distributed by the secularists and is still considered one of the best summaries of arguments defending atheism. In 1887, Besant converted to Theosophy after meeting Madame Blavatsky and spiritualists who in 1875 had founded the Theosophical Society. Besant quickly applied her skills, energy, and enthusiasm to his new religious cause. After Madame Blavatsky died in 1891, at Besant's home, the Theosophical Society split in 2 branches, with Besant as president of one branch. She was a popular writer and speaker for Theosophy. She often collaborated with Charles Webster Leadbeater in her theosophical writings. Besant moved to India to study Hindu ideas, karma, reincarnation, nirvana, which were foundational to theosophy. Her theosophical ideas also brought her to work on behalf of vegetarianism. She turned often to speak for theosophy or for social reform, remaining active in the British suffrage movement, an important speaker for women's suffrage. In India, where daughter and son came to live with her, she worked for Indian Home Rule and was interned during World War I for that activism. She lived in India until her death in Madras in 1933. She was instrumental in establishing Indian National Congress in 1885. A heretic who gave little care to what people thought of her. Annie Besant risked much for her ideas and passionate commitments. From mainline Christianity as a pastor's wife to radical freethinker, atheist and social reformer, to theosophist, lecturer and writer, Annie Besant applied her compassion and her logical thinking to the problems of her day, and especially to the problems of women. Aruna Asaf Ali. Aruna was born at Khalkha, Haryana into a Bengali Brahmo Samaj family. She was educated at Lahore and Nainital. She graduated and worked as a teacher, an achievement in itself for women, given the conditions prevalent in the country at that time. She taught at the Gokhale Memorial School in Calcutta. She met Asaf Ali, a leader in the Congress Party at Allahabad, and married him in 1928. Despite parental opposition on grounds of religion, she was a Hindu while he was a Muslim, an age, a difference of more than 20 years. She became an active member of Congress Party after marriage and participated in public processions during the Salt Satyagraha. She was arrested on the charge that she was a vagrant and hence not released in 1931 under the Gandhi-Irwin Pact, which stipulated release of all political prisoners. Other women co-prisoners refused to leave the premises unless she was also released and gave in only after Mahatma Gandhi intervened. A public agitation secured her release. In 1932, she was held prisoner at the Tihar jail, where she protested the indifferent treatment of political prisoners by launching a hunger strike. Her efforts resulted in an improvement of conditions in the Tihar jail, but she was moved to Ambala and was subjected to solitary confinement. She was politically not very active after her release. Her father, Upendranath Ganguly, hailed from Barisal district of eastern Bengal, but settled in the United Province. He was a restaurant owner and a very adventurous man. Mother Ambalika Devi was the daughter of Trilokyanath Sanyal, a renowned Brahmo leader who wrote many beautiful Brahmo hymns. Upendranath Ganguly's younger brother, Dhirendranath Ganguly, was one of the earliest film directors. Another brother, Nagendranath, a soil biologist, was married to Rabindranath Tagore's only surviving daughter Meera Devi, though they got separated after some time. Her sister Purnima Banerjee was a member of Constituent Assembly of India. On 8 August 1942, the AICC passed the Quit India resolution at the Bombay session. The government responded by arresting the major leaders on all members of the Congress Working Committee, and thus tried to preempt the movement from success. A young Aruna Asaf Ali presided over the remainder of the session on 9th August and hosted the Congress flag at the Gowalia Tank Maidan. This marked the commencement of the movement. The police fired upon the assembly at the session. Aruna was dubbed the heroine of the 1942 movement for her bravery in the face of danger and was called Grand Old Lady of the Independence Movement in her later years. Despite absence of direct leadership, spontaneous protests and demonstrations were held all over the country as an expression of desire of Indians' youth to achieve independence. An arrest warrant was issued in her name, but she went underground to evade the arrest. Her property was seized and sold. In the meanwhile, she also edited Inqilab, a monthly magazine of the Congress Party, along with Ram Manohar Lohia. In a 1944 issue, she exhorted youth to action by asking them to forget futile discussions about violence and non-violence and join the revolution. Leaders such as Jayaprakash Narayan and Aruna Asaf Ali were described as the political children of Gandhi, but recent students of Karl Marx. The government announced a reward of Rs 5,000 for her capture. She fell ill and Mahatma Gandhi sent her a handwritten note to her to come out of hiding and surrender herself, as her mission was accomplished and she could utilize the reward amount for the Harijan cause. However, she came out of hiding only after the warrant against her was withdrawn in 1946. She treasured the note from the Mahatma and it adorned her drawing room. However, she also faced criticism from Gandhi for her support of Ren Mutiny, a movement she saw as the simple greatest unifying factor of Hindus and Muslims at a time that was the peak of the movement for Pakistan. She was a member of the Congress Socialists Party, a caucus within the Congress Party for activists with socialist leanings. Disillusioned with the progress of Congress Party on socialism, she joined a new party, Socialists Party, in 1948. She, however, left that party along with Adatta Narayan and they visited Moscow along with Rajni Palme. Both of them joined the CPI before Stalin's death. On domestic front, she was bereaved when Asaf Ali died in 1953. In 1954, she helped form the National Federation of Indian Women, the women's wing of CPI, but left the party in 1956 following Khrushchev's disowning of Stalin. In 1958, she was elected the first mayor of Delhi. She and Narayan started Link Publishing House and published a daily Patriot and a weekly Link the same year. The publications became prestigious due to patronage of leaders such as Nehru, Krishna Menon, and Biju Patnaik. Though there was no formal marriage, she and Narayan practically lived together. Following his death, she moved out of the publishing house due to internal politics, stunned by greed taking over the creed of her comrades. In 1964, she rejoined the Congress Party but stopped taking part in active politics. Despite reservations about the emergency, she remained close to Indira Gandhi and Rajiv Gandhi. She was awarded the Padma Bhushan in her lifetime. Aruna Asaf Ali was awarded International Lenin Peace Prize for the year 1964. She was awarded India's highest civilian award, the Bharat Ratna, posthumously in 1997. In 1998, a stamp commemorating her was issued. Aruna Asaf Ali Marg in New Delhi is named after her. All India Minorities Front distributes the Dr. Aruna Asaf Ali Sadbhavana Award annually. Atal Bihari Vajpayee. Atal Bihari Vajpayee was born on December 25, 1924, in the erstwhile princely state of Gwalior. He was one of the 7 children of Sri Krishna Bihari, a secondary school teacher and Hindu scholar. Vajpayee graduated from Victoria College, now called Lakshmibai College in Gwalior, and went on to earn a master's degree in political science from Dayanand Anglo-Vedic College in Kanpur. Vajpayee is a native of Gwalior in Madhya Pradesh state and has been active in Indian politics throughout his adult life. He was one of the founding members of the Bharatiya Janata Sangh, a party linked to the Hindu organization Rashtriya Swayam Sevak Sangh (RSS), of which he was the president between 1968 and 1973. He was first elected to the Parliament of India in 1957 and was the leader of Jana Sangh political party up to the formation of Janata Party in 1977. He served as the foreign minister in the government of Morarji Desai from March 1977 to July 1979. In 1980, he left the Janata Party and helped form the Bharatiya Janata Party (BJP). He was leader of the BJP Parliament Party between 1980 and 1984, 1986 and between 1993 and 1996. He was the leader of the opposition in the 11th Lok Sabha. He was the Prime Minister of India in 1996 and again from 1998 until May 19, 2004. A Hindi poet and an orator known for his spellbinding eloquence, Vajpayee's first brush with nationalist politics was in his student days, when he joined the Quit India movement of 1942. A student of political science and law, it was in college that he developed a keen interest in foreign affairs, which he put to skillful use while representing India at various multilateral and bilateral fora. Vajpayee had embarked upon a journalistic career, which was cut short in 1951 when he joined the Bharatiya Janata Sangh. He became the Minister for External Affairs in 1977 when the Janata Party formed the government. After a third-party coalition governed India between 1996 and 1998, the terribly divided parliament was dissolved and fresh elections held. These elections again put the BJP at the head. This time, a cohesive bloc of political parties lined up with it to form the National Democratic Alliance, and A.B. Vajpayee was sworn in as the Prime Minister. The NDA proved its 286 vote majority in a narrow vote of confidence. Toward the end of 1998, however, the AIA-DMK under J. Jayalalitha withdrew its support from the 13-month-old government. The government lost the ensuing vote of confidence motion by a single vote. In May 1998, India conducted 5 underground nuclear weapon tests in Pokhran, Rajasthan. The 5 tests shocked and surprised the world, especially considering that the government had been in power for only a month. 2 weeks later, Pakistan responded with its own nuclear weapon tests, making it the newest nation with nuclear weapons. While some nations such as Russia and France endorsed India's right to defensive nuclear power, others including USA, Canada, Japan, UK and the European Union imposed sanctions on the sale of military equipment and high-tech scientific information, resources and technology to India or Pakistan. In spite of the intense international criticism, steady decline in foreign investment and trade, the nuclear tests were popular domestically, and the Vajpayee's popularity and the BJP's prestige rose in response. During his premiership, Vajpayee introduced many important economic and infrastructural reforms, domestically including encouraging the private sector and foreign investments, reducing governmental waste, encouraging research and development, and privatizing of government-owned corporations. On October 13, 1999, he took charge as the Prime Minister of India for the second consecutive term, as the head of a new coalition government, the National Democratic Alliance. He has completed his tenure of 5 years as the Prime Minister of India. Now he is one of the most respected political leaders of India.